And we are live. Welcome to the process, everybody. It is Monday, October 24th. I am Josh Engleman, and I'm here to break down an 8-game NBA slate. We are kicking off the first full week of NBA coverage. I'm pumped about it. Well rested, coming off of the weekend, just ready to dive into all things NBA. I see quite a few people here already. The morning crew is here. It makes me happy to see it. So thank you for being here. Be sure to hit that like button as you get in the door. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. This is a very different day than it was on Friday. I was beat, run down, feeling ragged, barely made it through the show. Today, very, very different. All the energy in the world. Haven't touched my coffee yet. Filled to the brim. We're going to have a good one. So hope you guys had a good weekend. Mine was pretty casual. There was a baby shower at my house on Saturday. Not for me. Let's be clear here. My wife was the host of said baby shower. So I got to hang around and just watch some sports, watch some UFC, watch some basketball. And then yesterday, had a little bit of basketball in the morning for Contenders videos, which will be out every Sunday as well. Did some NFL coverage and then just kind of relaxed, laid around, watched some football. Nothing too crazy. I could not be more recharged for today. I just want to talk NBA at this point. I don't even have anything more to ramble about. It's good to see everybody's here, though. I need to get a little bit of a laptop stand. I'm looking down too much. Nobody wants to see this particular view of me. But good morning to all of the regs. I got everybody here. The standard issue regulars are in the building. We've got 45 concurrent viewers, 23 likes. So hit that thumbs up if you can. But let's get it started. Let's get to where we want to be right now, because that's what we want to do, right? Yeah, Larry, I had to be. Well, I don't want people to freak out and start tossing out congrats and stuff like that. I could see how you could, but we don't need to do that right now. Let's do this. I've got my coffee. I hope you guys do as well. If you don't have a coffee, if you've got a tea or water or beer, if you're going liquor this morning, some, I don't know, proper number 12 Irish whiskey. Not sponsored. I'm just saying it. I watched Welcome to Wrexham last night. Maybe you've got some aviation gin. I doubt it. Maybe you're going food. Starbucks egg bites. A Jimmy Dean breakfast bowl, perhaps. That is a great way to start the day, as far as I'm concerned. Meat lovers only. If you get any other ones, yeah, you're making the wrong move. But let's just do this right there. Rise and grind, everybody. That is what we do around these parts. Good luck for everybody. I've got it. Let's do it. Cheers. Clink. There it is, everybody. Let's get going. Absolutely perfect. Perfect temperature, perfect flavor. This is going to be a good day. I can feel it. Right now, I can feel it. It's going to be a good day. I hope that's a good day for me. If it's not a good day for me, I hope it's at least a good day for one of you guys. Let's get into it here. No, one more thing. We got to talk BetMGM. I almost forgot. I don't want to forget. I got to get a BetMGM t-shirt. This one's just Sonics. Also good. BetMGM. So here's the deal. If you're in a legal betting state and you haven't signed up at BetMGM yet, this is what I need you to do. It's going to be a little weird, but trust me. Click the link in the description of this video. Head on over to BetMGM. Make a deposit. And then here's where it gets kind of wonky. I need you to bet $10 on any NHL money line. This is just how the promo works for right now. $10 on any NHL money line. If you do that, and I think my voice just cracked. If you do that, and a goal is scored, either team, doesn't matter. You just need one goal to be scored in that game, which is basically a guarantee. That happens, you get $200 in free bets. It's the perfect way to start off at BetMGM. Any deal that you could get to bring in $200 right out of the gate should be a deal that you try to attack. This one is right here for you. Link in the description. Now let's do it. Alrighty. Boop. And we're going to want to go to that view. and this banner. And there we go. We are ready to go here, folks. So let's kick it off. This should be an interesting one for multiple reasons. The Indiana Pacers are taking on the Philadelphia 76ers. And the most interesting piece here is that the Sixers, I don't want to say that they're ass, because I don't think that they really are. They're 11.5-point favorites here against the Pacers. But very interesting to see that the Sixers have not put a W on the board quite yet. Dumping one to the lowly Spurs over the weekend. Not good. Not good at all. So let's project out the Pacers first. We still have no Miles Turner. Probably a bummer here for Indiana, given that Miles Turner is a center and they face Joel Embiid. But we saw some changes to the starting lineup for Indiana 2 nights ago. They went to Isaiah Jackson and Aaron Nesmith over, I don't remember who the starters were before that. Definitely Terry Taylor and then somebody else. Taylor still played the exact same amount of minutes that he had played previously. But we're going to have to make a couple tweaks here. For Halliburton, I feel pretty comfortable saying 34. We'll get 14 to TJ McConnell. I'm actually going to gut this entire rotation to make it a little cleaner. We can start from scratch here. So we get Halliburton in. Benedict Mathurin has played 28, 28, and 30 minutes so far. He had a really odd rotation in the first half where he came on in the first quarter like a normal backup, but then he also closed the second quarter. Then he came on like a normal backup in the third quarter, closed the fourth quarter. I think Mathurin's going to be good for like 28 minutes. So I'm going to pop him in for 28 right away. And then we also need to give Buddy Hield some minutes. Did something happen to Buddy Hield, or did he just naturally not play a lot? That is interesting. Why did Buddy Hield play 15 minutes? I don't know, but apparently Buddy Hield just tweets out, "Thank God for life, health, and strength every day." 4 days ago, 3 days ago, and 16 hours ago. Okay. Well, that's an interesting rotation from Buddy Hield. I'm not going to lie. That one's tricky. Jalen Smith played the minutes that I needed him to play 2 nights ago. Or Friday night. He did that then on the 22nd, which is incredibly annoying. So Jalen Smith has played 22, 7, and 28 minutes. I'm going to give him 27 here. Feels pretty safe that we can sort of just give Terry Taylor the other 21. He was Smith's direct backup. So Fidel, yeah, he was. Assuming he was hurt means Jalen Smith. All right, Isaiah Jackson played 21.5 minutes. Pretty standard rotations. He did have 2 fouls and came back in. But I think this looks pretty reasonable to just say Isaiah Jackson plays 22 minutes. And then we get backup run out of Goga. Goga played 10 minutes, 18 minutes, and 25 minutes. That's a lot of run for Goga Bitadze. I'm not going to go to the 25 that he had, but I think 20 seems fine. Most of this is just going to hash itself out. Aaron Nesmith, I think, is going to start and not close. He played 23. Well, he did close here over Buddy Hield. I don't think that's going to be a long-term decision. So I'm going to say that Nesmith plays 22 minutes. Those final 6 center minutes, because we had Isaiah Jackson play 21-6. We had Goga play 25-4. Okay, so that's basically the full run at center. They kind of went to Jalen Smith at center for 2 minutes, so I guess that's what I'll do, just to make that a little bit easier. Who else are we missing now? So I think Buddy Hield just has to continue to project for pretty big minutes. I just don't expect him to not close. We also have to get Duarte his minutes. Duarte playing 19, 16, and 21 so far this season. So I'm going to give Duarte 20. I'm going to give Buddy Hield 26. And then I'm going to just basically throw spillover minutes to Andrew Nembhard. Nembhard isn't going to matter. Played 9 minutes last time out, all in the first half. Didn't see a second half rotation. So let's get him added. Done. Easy stuff there. Finally have some time this week to really add in all of the visuals that we want for this show. So, like boom tables with color and stuff. So we can really dig into everything that we're doing while we're here. But I think that works pretty well for an Indy rotation. They're in some trouble, that's for sure. But now we get Philly, and this one's going to be a lot easier. And by the way, we don't have any hard outs or anything today. We can kind of take our time, really hash through a great big slate, really go through the rotations. My keyboard sounds like a water bong when I type. I'll take that as a compliment. Coffee's hitting the spot. I'm guessing that we're going to make basically no changes here. Maxey in for 36 minutes seems fine. Harden in for 36 minutes. I mean, he's played 37, 40, and 40. It's going to be pretty hard for me to project 40 minutes for James Harden in a matchup against the Pacers. So I'm going to go 36. We're going to go 36. I've got Embiid in for 34. I already get enough of Embiid, so we're going to go with Trez as the backup center. We've got 30 minutes in for PJ Tucker. Feels about right for this matchup. I got 34 in for Tobias Harris. The rest of this is just going to be standard backups. House, Melton. They are the two guys that get the most run out of anybody. A small amount to George Niang. He gets 15. And then a little bit to Thibault. Sixers rotation is absolutely set in stone. So that's pretty easy to think about. Let's make this. I don't know what I just did. Oh, I just created 3 random blank sheets. That's not what I needed to do. Go ahead and delete those bad boys. All right, let's try this again. Let's make this zoom in a little bit more. There we go. All right, so for the Pacers, I like Jalen Smith a little bit on DK. There are no priorities on either the Pacers for DraftKings or for FanDuel. But Jalen Smith is the best option on DraftKings, 5,500 power forward. On the FanDuel side, it's probably Isaiah Jackson, $4,600 power forward. I think it could be Jalen Smith. Obviously, if you want to go to someone like Halliburton, by all means. Mathurin, probably not the guy that I'm looking to get to. Looks good, but just not going to be that guy for me right now. Just not good for Indy, and nor should it be. James Jones wants to know what's wrong with the Sixers. So it's tricky. I think it's much ado about nothing. I don't look into the first 2 losses to, was it Milwaukee and Boston? You're just going to lose 2 games to good teams sometimes. That, to me, those are if they're parts of the talking points, I throw that kind of away. Losing to the Spurs is bad. All right, for Philly, I mean, we're obviously going to Philly aggressively here. 10-5 for Embiid on DraftKings, 10-3 on FanDuel. Without question, my favorite Philadelphia 76er. But I would happily go to Harden. I would happily go to Maxey. I will have Harris. I will have some Tucker, 3,700 on DraftKings. Tucker 4K on FanDuel makes it a little bit easier to get away. I feel like I'm underrepresenting Harden. So let me just take a quick look. What is Harden's usage rate so far this year? Let's just say say played in the game, James Harden. I just feel like he's shooting a little bit more. But I doubt he is. Yeah, 27% usage rate for Harden so far. I'll give him an extra little usage tick. Embiid is still at 37.5, so like I don't even feel like I'm projecting him incorrectly. Maxi's in the 20s, which I don't expect to continue, but I will bump him up a little bit. Harris still down at 18.5. But either way, whether it's Harden, whether it's Maxey, whether it's Embiid on DraftKings, I think they all look really good. On FanDuel, it's a little bit more difficult, but 9K Harden on DraftKings, a lot different than 10K Harden on FanDuel. Alrighty. Let's go to game number 2. It's going to be Toronto at Miami. Raptors are 3.5-point dogs, 217 total. This is going to be a game that I can't imagine we like very much, barring any really weird price tags. We know what we're doing on the Toronto side. Q tag on Scotty Barnes, Q tag on Chris Boucher, no Otto Porter. So there's at least the Scotty Barnes Q tag that will matter, but Van Vliet's back to playing the exact minutes you would expect him to play. Gary Trent is playing 37 minutes a game, so I'm going to put him in for 36 as well. OG Anunoby is back up to his 36 normal minutes. Precious played a bit more because of Scotty Barnes being hurt. Only played 13 minutes 2 nights ago. Yeah, Ross, got to project him in until he's not in. That's how it works. The injury report is nothing but a Q tag. Yeah, Larry, table on the right is just the minutes played. So I don't think I have too many other changes here. Siakam should be in for 36, and he already is. I've got Barnes in for 35 if he plays. If he doesn't play, we kind of know what we're going to get here. But I don't really have any other changes that I want to make here. We know this team. It's pretty cut and dry. Maybe we get Boucher here. He steps into like a solid rotation, but this is Toronto. It's the easiest rotation in the league to project. And then we go to Miami. Obviously a tough matchup. We did see Hero get dinged up a little bit in Miami's last one, which I believe is against each other. Is Caleb Martin suspended today? Is that real? Is that real? Is he? Yep. Caleb Martin suspended 1 game. Sounds good. Okay, so we're going to have to cut Caleb Martin's minutes straight away. We know Hero was dinged up, so that's why he played limited minutes, and Strus got a little bit more, although that could go either way. So we're going to go Lowry, 33 minutes. He's actually playing more than that, so I'm going to go to 34. I've got Hero in for 34. I think he was trending that way. So I'm going to leave it at 34 for Hero. Next up, we're going to go Bam is averaging 34 minutes. I can't stop getting Bam. What's Bam's usage rate so far this season? Because that's probably what's causing me at least a little bit of issues with regards to Bam Adebayo. Bam Adebayo so far this season, 21% usage rate. So Bam has become a little bit more of himself now. Hero maintaining his usage rate. So what I want to do is bring Butler down a notch, bring Bam down a couple notches. That should flatten out my Bam exposures moving forward, which is going to be quite helpful. Jimmy's basically going to play the 4 for most of this. I could see Haywood Highsmith getting run. They also do really like Jamal Cain. I wouldn't be surprised to see some Jamal Cain here. Didn't mean to zoom in that far. Don't even know how I did that. Duncan Robinson's just not getting the time you would expect him to get. Strus is sort of just limited by the guys in front of him. But I think that we're going to have to see a little bit more Strus than we normally do. I am going to go to Haywood Highsmith for 20 minutes just because he's a bigger body. That does leave me one spot left in the rotation if I need it, which I do think is going to be Jamal Cain. I don't really see another spot where they can go. I do want to give them more minutes to... I mean, they could go to a 9-man rotation. That would be viable. So I only have 7 minutes left here. I'm just going to throw them to Jovic for right now, but I actually do think it'll be Jamal Cain. Rate-wise, I think we're good, so we can take a look at this game now. For Toronto, it's what we always know. You can play any one of the starters, Van Vliet, Trent, Anunoby, Siakam, Barnes. We're certainly going to have some interest in Precious Achiuwa if Barnes ends up out. It could also end up being a Boucher night, potentially. Like, Chris Boucher, we need to find out how limited he is if Barnes is out, because he's only 4,200, and Boucher is like a little over a fantasy point per minute guy. So that would be pretty interesting. There are no priorities, though, coming out of Toronto. It's a tough matchup against Miami. Low total. On the Miami side, lots more to like. Bam Adebayo. Guys, ignore the Jovic stuff. It doesn't matter where those minutes go. It's just spillover. I can give him to Pat Riley, and it wouldn't make a difference. Bam Adebayo. 33% boom on DK at 7K. I'm still interested in Bam on DraftKings. Like, no matter what we think, he's still a 1.15 fantasy point per minute guy, basically. Ooh, which reminds me, I can actually set that up now. So let's do this. This is actually something that I do want to handle, so bear with me for a minute here. To put in a pivot table, a T1 player, and I want to be able to see everybody's per minute rates that have happened so far, and I realize that I didn't have that table built right now. So let's go ahead and get that in there. So we're going to get FanDuel points per minute. Done. We will bump that up one notch. Much better. Now we can actually look at something a little bit different. Okay, so we get window number 2 here. Let's do this. Let's do this. Yeah, we got this now. Now we could look at this a little bit differently because we want to know how people have been playing. I think that's important, obviously. All right, boom, good there. On the YouTube screen, last 30. Huzzah, got it. See, now I have all of my rates in one spot. 8 game, thanks for being here. Who's getting Martin's minutes? I think Haywood Highsmith will get a lot of them. But they're not really going to have to worry about it too much. Yeah, Bam Adebayo, 0.74 FanDuel points per minute so far this season. Yuck. Not good, folks. Not good at all. Okay, I made the minutes table way too big. So let's bring that back over so we can see the rest of this boom table. I still like Bam on DK. I don't care how bad he's been. I think Tyler Hero is probably the second best option. He's at 1.17 fantasy points per minute so far this year. I've only got him at 1, but at 6,500, he's the second best guy on the DK side. Lowry would be third. Still not projecting very well. Not a guy that I have a ton of interest in. But Butler, Lowry, Hero, Bam. They're the only guys that I'd really want a lot of. I think you could fall into a little bit of Max Strus. The problem is he's really not a good per minute guy. 0.79 in my model, 0.77 this year, 0.73 for this game. You're sticking to the 4 main guys. But now what we can do... Oh, we didn't look at Toronto yet, did we? No, we did. We can now look at the pivot tables. So that's through the first 2 games. You can see Joel Embiid at the top on FanDuel thus far. Fred VanVleet second, but nobody really pulling away. On the DraftKings side, it's Embiid, Bam Adebayo, and Maxey that are in the 30s, although Hero and Harden not too far behind. Just very, very similar so far. Yeah, Rob, I think we got to go back to the Bam well once again. Speaking of going back to the well, let's go back to the likes well. 181 concurrent viewers, 74 likes. Can we get up to 100 before we hit 7 a.m.? That used to be the goal. Can we do it here? Feels like we can. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. We're going to go to game number 3, the Orlando Magic at the New York Knicks. Another game where my guess is we're not playing a ton of this one. We shall see. For the Orlando Magic side, no Jalen Suggs. He's out with the ankle injury. No Fultz, no Harris, no Isaac. So they are legitimately missing 4 guys that they would want in their rotation. Kind of annoying. For them, at least. So let's hash this out and go back to some coffee. Cole Anthony missed that opener with the illness. Came off the bench in the second game. They played again on Saturday and lost by 6 to Boston. Went Anthony, Ross, Wagner, Banchero, Carter. So that looks fine. So assuming Cole Anthony is starting, I'm giving him 32 minutes. He did, is this foul trouble? 1 foul, 3 fouls. So he missed 2 minutes of a rotation at the end of the second quarter. Was set to play like 34 minutes. I think I might go 33. I think that looks a little bit better. Let's take everybody else out of here, or at least take out all the backups. Project these minutes a little bit better. Wendell Carter Jr. playing 33.5 a game. I am going to give him 1 more minute. Banchero is playing 34 a game. That's where I have him. Franz Wagner playing 34 a game. That's where I now have him. Terrence Ross playing 34 minutes a game. Didn't see that one coming before the season started. But this really does make Orlando a lot easier to project. Since we know we have no Jalen Suggs, we kind of know what this rotation is going to look like. So let's just pop everybody in where they belong. Mo Bamba, 15 minutes. Bol, 14 minutes. Chuma Okeke, 14 minutes. RJ Hampton and someone else, Kevon Harris, who I do not have listed on this team. I will deal with that at a later date. Caleb Houston getting 14 minutes and RJ Hampton getting 15. None of that really matters all that much. I do want to look at Orlando's rates thus far. So Orlando, good. Banchero, good. All right, usage rates so far for the Orlando Magic. Franz Wagner's at 21. Seems about right. Banchero is at 31. we're going to go ahead and bump that guy up quite a bit here. I'm going to go straight to 29.5. That'll project him a little bit differently. Anybody else's usage rate all that interesting? Cole Anthony's at 23. So I'm going to leave Franz at 21, Cole Anthony at 23. Terrence Ross is at 16, so I don't really have any other changes that I want to make here. So that'll work for Orlando. Good spot there. Did we get it? We're at 7 o'clock. Did we get it? Look at you guys. 191 viewers, 101 likes. Ask and ye shall receive. Good looking out, people. Thank you so much. All right, Orlando done. Let's go to the Knicks side. Feels a little bit easier to manage. As I look at the Knicks depth chart, only thing we don't have is Quentin Grimes, which we've known. Knicks have only played 2 games at this point, so a little bit harder to read into, but we kind of just know that this rotation is what it is. We've got Jalen Brunson in for 34 minutes. We've got RJ Barrett in for 34 minutes. We've got Julius Randle in for 34 minutes. We've got a split between Mitchell Robinson and Isaiah Hartenstein. Derrick Rose playing backup run, Cam Reddish playing backup run, Obi Toppin playing backup run. I think we're pretty good with what this rotation looks like, which means we could look at game 3, Orlando. Best play on Orlando on DraftKings is going to be Cole Anthony. I think Franz Wagner and Banchero and Wendell Carter are all very, very close. The problem here is just the low total and the slow pace against the Knicks. On the FanDuel side, it's sort of the same thing. Like Cole Anthony for 6K seems fine. Franz Wagner seems fine. Banchero 7,500 is fine. No priorities coming out of Orlando, although Cole Anthony is pretty close to it. On the Knicks end of it, Julius Randle, probably my favorite DraftKings Nick, 8,200. Similar story here on FanDuel, but RJ Barrett also plays his way into being pretty interesting. But these guys are both like 20% boom guys. Nothing too amazing to see there. Randle's been fine. Here's one that's interesting for everybody. I've got Julius Randle's base rate as 1.18 FanDuel points per minute. I have him at this game, 1.18. And so far this season in 2 games, he's at 1.18. So feel pretty comfortable with the Julius Randle projection for today. That's for sure. Ultimately, not a team or game that we're going to be paying attention to all that much. You see Cole Anthony get to the number 4 spot on DraftKings. He's second on FanDuel. But I wouldn't say that he's just like a far and away amazing play. He's just like one of the best plays we've looked at thus far. Another tough one to project, sort of. Boston Celtics at the Chicago Bulls. That's 4.5-point favorites here for Boston in Chicago. Bulls team, I don't believe, is very good. We saw Al Horford sit out on Saturday on the back end of a back-to-back. We should have everybody back here, though. Jamie Brown, no. If a team plays a smaller rotation, that doesn't really matter to the other team. All right, so we should have just the normal Boston rotation, which means this is pretty easy to deal with. I think that we're going to assume Al Horford plays about 30 minutes. I'm going to say that Noah Vonleh is basically the backup center. I'm going to get Grant Williams in for 25 minutes. 5 minutes over right now. It appears that they would, at least a couple of these minutes would come from Malcolm Brogdon. So we're going to take him down to 24. Final 2 are going to come away from Sam Hauser. So I'm going to do something like that. And Boston's rotation is done. This is not one that I find all that interesting to really dig into. Of all the teams in the league, Boston is pretty easy to project. We know what their like true guys are doing. So there's no like guesswork here. 32% usage rate for Tatum so far this year, just under 30 for Jaylen Brown. I'm going to bump Tatum up a little bit. Fidel, you're not even close. They're not even. There's a decent chance they might not make the play-in. I mean, no Lonzo is a problem. Levine being dinged up is a problem. Nikola Vucevic is not a very good center defensively. I don't know how they can stop anybody when they don't have Lonzo as well. If Caruso gets hurt, they're in real trouble. There's not a very good team. They've traded away a lot of assets for nothing. Patrick Williams does not look like a guy that was worth the pick that they gave him. They're bad now, and they're going to be worse and worse and worse every year. They don't really have a path to success. Malcolm Brogdon, 25% usage rate so far this season. Good to know. Derek White is at quite a bit lower than 18. That's what we'll go with for Boston. And we go to Chicago. I assume aren't going to look very good here, but we'll see. Caruso is probable. Obviously, no Lonzo. We don't have anything else to worry about there. Levine playing, I guess. So there's that. What did we get out of that rotation in Levine's first game? Played 28 minutes. Was that due to anything? They did get their asses kicked. No surprise there. Normal rotation, relatively normal rotation, relatively normal rotation. Okay, so by all accounts, it seems like Zach LaVine was able to play at least 32 minutes in that game if he needed to. They just weren't really in it. He started the fourth quarter. Okay, so yeah, 32 minutes for LaVine I think is fine in this one before we give him like that true jump up in playing time. Dosunmu in for 31 feels right. Dragic barely played. Rotation looks fine. Kobe White played some closing run in the blowout that I don't think he's normally going to get. I think 13 might actually be okay there. 32 for Vooch. It might actually be too many minutes. I'm going to go to 31. Are they going to like Patrick Williams or Derek Jones Jr. at the 5? First half was just Drummond. Second half, okay, it was just Drummond. Then it was blowout run. Okay, that's fine. We'll go 31-17. Actually, you know what? We'll go 32-16. I'm going to leave Vooch with that 32nd minute. I think that's going to stay. Patrick Williams, I have in for 26 minutes. That did not work out as they would have wanted it before. And that wasn't foul trouble. He was just playing like shit, and they took him out. Doesn't really surprise me. Going to go to 24 minutes on Patrick Williams. We'll give Javonte Green one additional minute. DeRozan in for 36, obviously. Going to need to... Actually, no, I don't need to make any rates tweaks. I thought I still had DeRozan with the high usage rate, but I don't. Caruso played limited minutes, but he is eligible here. If he's going to be coming off the bench, then I guess that's going to get cut down. I'm going to take Caruso down to 24. Where can I give 6 more minutes? We'll give 2 to Dragic. We'll give 1 to Kobe White. That's 3 more. 3 spill over to Derek Jones Jr., and we're good. Mad you beat? I don't even know how I'm supposed to say that. Do I have a video somewhere where I go over what I'm doing now? No, I just go over what I'm doing right now every single day at 6:30. What we're doing is working through each team, projecting out the minutes for each player, adjusting usage rate, assist rate, rebounding rate as we see fit so that we can make projections for the day. So Boston. Again, like no real priorities coming out of the Celtics. Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, Derek White. All. Let me highlight these columns for you guys. Make it a little bit easier to see. So you know where I'm looking. This is the boom rate. That should help at least a little bit. But, I mean, this is just all flat in the high teens. Nothing too crazy. Like, there's nobody that stands out aggressively. I'd be happy to have bits of any one of these guys. Tatum, Brown, Smart, Horford, White, Brogdon to an extent. Probably not Grant Williams. Like, it's just not a good spot. I mean, it's a great spot offensively, but everybody's just sort of priced where they're supposed to be. Now, on the Chicago side, I actually do like Vooch a little bit. 7,800 on DK. He's a little bit more expensive on FanDuel. Other than that, I think this entire team is wildly uninteresting. I don't want Levine. I don't want DeRozan. I definitely don't want DeRozan if Levine's playing. That's a complete no chance for me. But this might be the worst game that we've seen so far. 4 games in, and there's just not a lot at the top. Like, where do we go here? I don't see a lot of Celtics or Chicago Bulls names at the top of this list. Mostly a stay away. Mostly a stay away. Now we get to the most ridiculous game of the day. The Utah Jazz. The undefeated Utah Jazz. Can we, the Utah Jazz are 3-0. Here are the undefeated teams. Boston and Milwaukee, obviously. The Utah Jazz and the Portland Trail Blazers. Sure. Look, I said Utah's offense might look good. So far, so good. Why do I only have 2 games of Utah here? That doesn't make sense to me. I have every... Oh, no. Did I do the same date twice? Is that what I did? Did I do the 21st and the 22nd? No, I did make that change. What the hell? This makes no sense to me. 19th, 21st, 23rd. Oh, did I just not grab yesterday? That's exactly what I did. I just didn't grab yesterday. Should I do that right now? I probably should. Also, feels like too much work. Yeah, don't need to do it right now. All right, let's try this again for Utah. Mike Conley, doubtful today, assuming he's going to be sitting out on the back-to-back. That actually is very important for Utah. So we're going to take Mike Conley out of there. I'm going to pull up yesterday's popcorn machine for the Jazz. So let's get that going. They did go to OT yesterday. Yeah, I'd be shocked if Mike Conley plays in this one. We've seen Colin Sexton. I don't know how many minutes Colin Sexton can play. I don't know if he can just... I don't think they're going to go straight to 30 there. I think we're going to get starting point guard-ish Jordan Clarkson playing 32 minutes. I'm going to take everybody out of this rotation, too, to really get a good idea of what we need to do here, because I think this is going to be tricky. We're going to go 32 to Clarkson. I'm going to go 30. Let's see. Markkanen played 39, 5 in overtime, 34. I'm going to go 34 to Markkanen. Kelly O played 32 minutes of standard issue rotation. He did that in the second game as well. I'm going to go 31 to Olynyk. Walker Kessler straight back. No, it's not even always Walker Kessler as a straight backup. He just sort of plays. Played 22 minutes in this last one. I'm going to say that Walker Kessler plays 20 minutes. Actually move 3 of Kelly Olynyk's minutes to the 4. Next up is going to be Jared Vanderbilt. Played 28 minutes, but all of overtime. I'm assuming this was a foul trouble thing in the third quarter. Yeah, he picked up 3 fouls in the third quarter yesterday. Didn't have one in his third rotation. All right, so he had 4 fouls pretty quickly. So I think that's what limited a little bit of his run. He probably would have been looking at maybe that extra 5, maybe probably like 28 minutes. 27 minutes maybe? Ooh, that's more than he's been playing. I'm going with 26. 26 to Vanderbilt. Talen Horton-Tucker just seems to be playing the same sort of run. I mean, he only played 9 minutes yesterday. I think we see a couple more just because there's time to go around. So there's 14. Get him to Rudy Gay first, though. Played a little bit more in the first one. Don't think that's going to be the case. We're going to go 16 to Rudy Gay. There's 14 for Talen Horton-Tucker. Now we're starting to get to where we need to be. Malik Beasley should see a bunch of additional run. Played 25 minutes in the opener, 30 minutes on the 21st, and then got 20 no overtime time in yesterday's game. I mean, 24 for Beasley seems like it's just a minimum, at least for right now. And we'll see if I have extra minutes going around. That's an 8-man rotation thus far. With Sexton, I'm going to say that he plays 24 minutes. I don't think that I can go any higher there. Sexton's played 21, 19, and 19. They're just not going to let him rip now. It's not worth what they're trying to do. The question then becomes, who's the guy stepping into the rotation here? Is it Nickeil Alexander-Walker? Is it Saben Lee? Is it Bolmaro? Is it Fontecchio? I'm going to go to Nickeil Alexander-Walker. And I'm going to give one additional minute to Talen Horton-Tucker. I think they're going to be able to go to more Malik Beasley. Beasley feels like the guy that steps up and just moves into, like, it's never going to be a problem to get more shooting out there. I do want to take a look at Utah's usage rate stuff just to see what's been going on, because I'm guessing Markkanen is someone that I would want to bump up, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, Markkanen's up around 23. I'm going to take him up to 22 for this one. Conley's fine. Clarkson, we know his usage rate is what it normally is. Nobody else with a monster usage rate. I'm going to lock in Sexton as well. I think we're going to be fine otherwise. So that's Utah. Tough rotation. Remember, they're playing Houston tonight. I think this Utah team is going to look incredible. I'm really anxious to see what we end up looking at. For Houston, all right, so they've got 3 games in the books thus far. We're talking no Jayshawn Tate, no Bruno Fernando, no Ty Washington. So we know we need to get Bruno Fernando's minutes out of there. They played on the 22nd, lost by 20 to Milwaukee. Went to Usman Garuba over Şengün. Hilarious. This feels like a spot where Şengün should actually start up against Utah, but maybe they want the defense. So we're going to say Garuba starts again, plays pretty standard rotations. I mean, I guess he technically got the blowout run. They might have gone to Şengün. I'm going to go 23 Garuba. I'm going to go 24 Şengün. Go Porter 1 additional minute. Kevin Porter Jr. in for 33. Jalen Green in for 33. Eric Gordon didn't play the back of the back, but he's going to be in for a few more minutes now. Let's go ahead and get him up to 30. Jabari Smith played a little bit less, probably just blowout related. Played in the 30s before that. I got him in for 31. Seems about right. I think this rotation looks fine. Kmart, I could probably afford to give Martin a couple extra minutes. Although, Easton's there too, from a minutes perspective. Garrison Matthews maybe playing a little bit less than I would have expected. No, I think this rotation looks fine. Take 1 minute away from Matthews and give it to Martin. Get him up to 22. Actually, probably need to give him even more. I just don't know where to take them from. I guess I'll take another one from Eason and take Martin to 22. I think this looks good here for Houston. I'm fascinated to type in Utah here. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Kelly Olynyk. 5,200 on DraftKings. 4,800 on FanDuel. Putting it in here right now. Kelly Olynyk is the best play that we've seen so far. It is not close. Particularly on FanDuel, he is as close to a lock as you're going to get on an 8-game slate. 50-50 to go for 35 fantasy points. Like, that looks so good. Love Kelly Olynyk in this spot. Against Houston, too. This is massive, massive Kelly O day. Certainly want to get to Lauri Markkanen on DraftKings. Looking good at 6,400. A little bit too expensive on FanDuel at 7,600 for Markkanen. I think Clarkson, very viable for 6,200 on DK. I don't think Vanderbilt would be like the craziest play in the world on DraftKings. Don't play him on FanDuel. Don't really think that you can get to Beasley or Sexton at this point. You just want all the Kelly Olynyk. So obviously a Kelly Olynyk spot. On the Houston side, oh man, tons to like here too. Jalen Green, 6,300. Love it. Absolutely love it. Kevin Porter, 7,300. Love it. Usman Garuba is 3,500 on DK. I like that price quite a bit. He's 4,100 on FanDuel. Don't like that a lot. Obviously, you can get to a little bit of Şengün if you want. I think Jabari Smith, very viable. Speaking of, I want to see what his usage rate has been. Houston in games where KPJ plays. All right, KPJ, 24% usage rate so far. That's fine. Jalen Green's at 28. I'll bump him up one notch. Jabari Smith is at 20. Perfect. Şengün's at 24. Bump him up a little bit. Think we're fine. Yeah. What a game to attack. Absolutely. So far, very clearly, the best game that we've looked at. Utah, Houston. I don't think that's going to be a minority opinion. That's for sure. But look at the changes here to the top. 50% boom to Kelly Olynyk here. Miles above Joel Embiid. 44% here. Miles above Joel Embiid. Jalen Green gets to the third spot. He gets the 4 on FanDuel. Kevin Porter here is 8th on DraftKings. Usman Garuba is 12th on DK. No doubt the best game that we've looked at so far. Where are we at now? 240 viewers, 127 likes. Don't be afraid to hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Half of you have done it. What are the other half waiting on? Morning kickstart. All right, 3 games to go. Brooklyn Nets, Memphis Grizzlies. This one should also be interesting just from a pace perspective. The Nets are 1.5-point dogs in Memphis. I'm going to assume Brooklyn played yesterday. Not entirely sure. They did not. Okay, perfect. So they just really have only played 2 games. Kyrie in for 36. KD in for 36. Probably right if it's competitive. Royce O'Neal in for 36. Should be, I guess. We did get Joe Harris back, finally. But I am going to bump up Royce O'Neal's minutes at least to 34. Got Claxton in for 27. That could pretty easily be 28. So let's do that. Ben Simmons in for 31 seems about right. Joe Harris, I had in for 25. He played 18 in the first one. I'm going to go ahead and bring that bad boy down. Edmund Sumner did not play. Patty Mills, big time reduced run. We did get Markieff Morris now finally playing. I don't know if that's going to be a long-term decision or not. Assuming that it is, I'm going to give him 16 minutes. At which point, I don't think we need to make any other changes. I think this looks fine. Give 2 spillover to Sumner. I don't have any rates that I really want to change. It's only 2 games, so I think Brooklyn's just pretty easy because it's not like we're going to be going to anybody other than Irving, Durant, Claxton, Simmons. I mean, maybe Royce O'Neal, but that's not exactly like a thing most people want to do. Let's check out Memphis now. Memphis Grizzlies at home. They've played 3 so far. So we'll be able to take a pretty nice look here. I got 34 minutes for Ja. Seems fine. 32 minutes for Bane. Seems fine. Santi Aldama in for 32. Seems fine to me. Memphis did get beat by 40 against Dallas. So rotations are kind of tricky there, but I don't have much else I want to say about those first 3 guys. Let's think about it. Steven Adams, I got in for 28. Seems fine. Conchar, I've got in for 28. Seems fine. I don't really have any changes that I want to make to this rotation. I think this is pretty cut and dry. Oh, is Dylan Brooks back? That might be the issue. Dylan Brooks questionable today. And I think we're going to be getting Dylan Brooks back, which is going to change this rotation up a little bit. I don't think that they just immediately go to Brooks playing a ton of minutes. I think this feels like a spot where you bring him in slowly. And if that's the case, I think, man, who gets the haircut? Is it Roddy? Is it LaRavia? Roddy was the first guy off the bench. LaRavia was the last guy off the bench. I don't think Conchar is just going to lose like a ton of minutes. I'm going to say that Jake LaRavia loses his time now, at the least. Tillman wasn't a part of the rotation. 1, 2, 3, 4. So they went to a 9-man rotation. That actually makes things a little bit easier for me. I'm going to go 24 minutes to Brooks. And then I'm going to split 10 minutes to David Roddy, 9 minutes to Jake LaRavia. That's a 10-man rotation then. So who was the backup center? So Adams came off. Bane, Roddy, Jones. So I guess technically Clark was the direct backup to Adams. Am I reading that right? Yeah. All right. So Brandon Clark was just the straight backup center. Good to know. Yeah, good to know. All right. So that's Memphis. I don't really have any other changes we need to make here. I guess we do need to take a quick look. What is Ja Morant's usage rate in games that Bane, Morant, and Brooks all play? There's not a lot of games like that, but it matters. Brooks in, Bane in. Where's Ja Morant hiding? Ja Morant in. All 3 of them playing. What kind of usage rate do it? Because they have not played a lot of time together, which is really crazy. Yeah, Morant's only played 327 minutes when everybody's healthy. I do need to cut his usage rate down quite a bit. I need to cut Desmond Bane's down quite a bit. That should allow me to lock Brooks into his standard issue 26. So that's where we're at now for Memphis. Everybody else can just fall into place. We already handled Brooklyn, so let's look at Brooklyn. Yeah, no real priorities coming out of the Brooklyn Nets here. Happy to get to KD or Kyrie, but I mean, these are all just like pretty piss poor boom rates. 8,700 to Kyrie on FanDuel is the best play in the game for Brooklyn. For Memphis, Santi Aldama, 5,100 on DK, 4,400 on FanDuel. Aldama, very interesting to me here, even with Brooks back. What else here? Yeah, but like I don't really like most of the rest of this. Morant and Bane and Brooks, no. Adams, Conchar, I don't know. Only Aldama is like a priority. We're at the hour mark now. We still have 2 games to go. This is going exactly like I was expecting it to go. As we refresh, we see Santi Aldama steps into the number 2 spot. So really love the Aldama Kelly Olynyk value combination. Aldama gets to 11th, though, on DraftKings. That's really the only thing that looks good in this game. So 2 to go. San Antonio Spurs, Minnesota Timberwolves. Spurs are 9.5-point dogs in this one. Probably, if I'm guessing, it's because they aren't very good. Minnesota played yesterday on a back-to-back. They were in Oklahoma City, but they're coming home for this one. So let's think about this from a San Antonio perspective. For today, they're fully healthy. So standard rotation for the Spurs. I got 32 minutes for Devin Vassell. It should probably be 33. I don't think I need more of him. Keldon Johnson also. I got in at 34. Maybe I'll make them both 33. I think that'll look a little bit better. There we go. Jakob Poeltl I have in for 30. I'm going to take that down to 29. Give Zach Collins an extra minute. Sohan is all over the map. Did they start someone else? No, they did. They just scrambled the hell out of that rotation. Good to know. McBuckets, I think, is probably good for 18. Primo seems to be good for like 24. Josh Richardson, we'll do it like that. Kada seems to play a little bit, but this seems easy. Oh, Zach Collins actually played a little bit less than they went to Roby. Was that blowout run? No, Roby in the rotation. Roby off the bench before Zach Collins. Okay, that's actually interesting. So let's do something like this, where we're going to go, we have 23 minutes to split between Collins and Roby. I'm going to go 13 and 10. I think that'll be a little bit easier. Now, as I take a look at San Antonio's rates so far this season, let's take a look, see if we need to make any real changes. Devin Vassell so far this season, 97 minutes played, 22.5% usage rate. I think we're good there. 26 for Keldon Johnson. Definitely going to go up to 25 there. I'll hit Vassell to 22. Trey Jones is at 20. Interesting there. Jakob Poeltl is at 21.5. That's interesting. I actually think that I need to take this whole rate boost literally. We'll go 25. We'll go 22. I'm going to take Trey Jones to 19. I am going to take Jakob Poeltl up to 19.5. Sohan does not have that kind of usage rate right now. Where is it going then? Everybody just can't be a 20% usage guy. That's not how this works. What's Primo? 18 for Primo? Who's taking the damn shots? All right, we're going to go 22.5, 25.5. All right, that's San Antonio. Not a great spot. We'll go check out Minnesota now. Again, they played last night against OKC. Most of this should be easy. Russell, I've got in for 34 minutes. Might actually be light, but should be fine. They go to OT in that second one? Yeah, they did. Edwards, 34 minutes. Yeah. Jaden McDaniels, 34. Yeah. Towns. Let me just look at what they did yesterday. Because they beat the Thunder by 10. McDaniels played 27, didn't play the fourth. Okay, yeah, I feel pretty safe with most of this rotation. Towns in for 34, Gobert in for 33. I could probably make that 34. It seems just like 34 minutes for the starters is where we want to be. Jalen Noel, Taurean Prince, Jordan McLaughlin are definitely like the first three guys. Austin Rivers didn't play. We'll give like 10 minutes here to Bryn Forbes. We'll go 18 to McLaughlin, and we'll give Nasri a couple more. No, I didn't even have to give him those. Okay. Minnesota's pretty easy. Let's take a look quickly just to see if they've got any weird usage quirks through the first three games. All righty. Anthony Edwards, 28% usage rate so far this season. I'm going to bump him up. D'Angelo Russell, 21.5. I am going to bump him down a bit. Towns, 26. Seems fine. Gobert, 17. Seems fine. Jaden McDaniels doesn't do anything from a usage perspective. I don't think I need to touch anybody else's rates. So we got another one in the books here. We're starting it with San Antonio. Okay, well, we're playing a bunch of San Antonio today, guys. Be ready for that. Devin Vassell, best option in the game. 5,400 on DraftKings, 5,800 on FanDuel. This is a guy that's been at 0.98 so far this season. That's about where I have him for today. Really nice boom percentage. But I like Keldon Johnson. I like Jakob Poeltl. I like Trey Jones. Keldon on FanDuel, a little bit more tough at 7,300. I think Jeremy Sohan on FanDuel at 4,100 becomes mildly interesting. All told, though, San Antonio just looks solid. Like, if this game stays competitive, you're going to want Vassell and probably one other guy. On the Minnesota side, I would say no priorities, just play the starters or take... Wait, did I accidentally give Jordan McLaughlin too many minutes? I think I did. Yeah, I did. That should be a 4. That should be a 9. There we go. I was going to say he should not be popping. Whether you want to go to Edwards, Russell, McDaniels, Towns, Gobert, I think they're all pretty viable. Towns and Edwards, probably the two guys I want to get to the most. But the San Antonio side is the better side here. As we see, like, Vassell gets to 4th on FanDuel, 2nd on DK. Vassell's the guy. Absolutely. But Jakob Poeltl, 7th on FanDuel. That's interesting to see. It's just a really good spot for the Spurs. As we close it out with Denver, 3.5-point favorites at Portland, 229 total. And let's do one last pass here. 275 viewers, 148 likes. If we can get to 175, I think that would be pretty fun. So if you can, hit that thumbs up. All righty. Let's close out Denver now. Anything we need to know about Denver's health? So far, from a health perspective, like, injury report seems pretty easy today. All right, they played 3 games, 34 minutes for Jokic, sure. 32 minutes for KCP, sure. MPJ, I've got in for 33. I'm going to make that 32. Aaron Gordon has been playing about 30 minutes. I am actually going to leave that at 32. That feels like the most likely scenario. Murray, playing about 28 minutes a game. An easy fix. Najee finally saw the floor. Bones Highland not playing all that much. I hope everybody can calm down about Bones Highland. Not that interesting of a player. Christian Braun is playing now. Don't really want to deal with that, so I'm going to leave it on Devon Reed until tomorrow. DeAndre Jordan, did they finally excise him from the rotation? I hope so. We're going to take Zeke Najee's minutes, put them over here, give him 12. Bump Jeff Green up to 19. Bruce Brown playing a little bit more. 24 feel about right for Bruce Brown. I'm going to go 25 for Bruce Brown. That'll be Denver. Wow, this coffee is hitting the spot today. Finally, we're going to go to Portland. And on the Portland side, no Gary Payton, no Olivier Sarr. This is standard Portland rotation stuff. They did play yesterday, I reckon. They did. Beat the Lakers by 2. So they're going from LA to Denver. I like this spot for Denver. Oh, no, this is in Portland. So back home to Portland after LA. Good to know. 35 minutes for Dame. Played 34 last night. That works. 34 for Simons. Played 35 last night. That seems fine. I've been getting to a ton of Simons either way. Nurk in for 28. He played 30. I feel like 28 seems about right. 35 for Josh Hart. 35 for Jeremy Grant. Hart played 36. Grant played 34. Rest of the rotation can hash itself out. We're sort of already done with Portland. I do want to look at their usage rates, see what that relationship has been between Simons and Dame. But otherwise, this is pretty easy. All right. Josh Hart, basically no usage, but we'll deal with that in a second. Simons is at 25.5%. Bump that up. Dame is at 35.5%. I'm going to bump that up. Jeremy Grant has been at 16. Yusuf Nurkic has been at 18. So right there, I think, is what we're looking for this team. I think Dame's going to pop aggressively. I also think that Simons might too. All right, on Denver. Love Jokic, but not an inner circle guy. I think he's going to be behind Embiid. MPJ, 6K on DraftKings, 5,800 on FanDuel. I think Bruce Brown is actually okay today. 4,600 DraftKings, 4,100 FanDuel. I think the prices on DraftKings are too high, though. Like, Aaron Gordon's $1,300 more expensive. KCP's $400 more expensive. Jamal Murray is unplayable on DraftKings at 7,500. Mildly playable at 5,500 on FanDuel. And then we go to Portland. Yeah, Simons, 6K on DK, looking really good. Dame, surprisingly, still not looking all that great for me, even though I have him projected well. But Simons is the guy we're looking for here today on DraftKings. You can go to Grant. You can go to Hart. Nurk, I guess, but not really a priority. But I think we just made it through the slate, folks. Not too shabby. Yeah, what do we see here? Yeah, Simons gets to 6th on DraftKings, 11th on FanDuel. Interesting. Yeah, Simon's looking good. I mean, the core on DK of like Olynyk, Vassell, to me, Embiid, Jalen Green, Bam, that all looks really good. All right, let's run some crunches, folks. Thank you for being here. First day back on the week, looking good. I feel good. We're going to have a good week. We really are. Joe Bro, I want to try something here. Does this work? It does. Cool. Joe Bro says, what happened to the contenders videos this week? NFL contenders for me are gone. They are not something that I'm going to be doing any longer now that the NBA season is here. It's possible that we get someone else to start doing them. It is a conversation piece right now, but that went away the moment the NBA season started. All right, let's run some crunches. We'll start on the FanDuel side. Here we go. All right. Optimal lineup on FanDuel for Monday, October 24th. 331.98. Optimal by 0.23. Van Vliet, Cole Anthony, Devin Vassell, Jamal Murray, Franz Wagner, Michael Porter, Karl Anthony Towns, Kelly Olynyk, Joel Embiid. I actually like that lineup a lot. You're not paying down any further than Kelly Olynyk, who I think is actually the best play on the slate, but he's only 4,800. You are able to get to a 10K Embiid. You get the value of Towns, but very balanced build. I like this lineup a lot. That's really nice, in my opinion. Now, power rankings. Let's see what we get here. Yeah, looking like Olynyk at the top. I don't think we're surprised there. I don't think anybody's going to be able to run him down. Yeah, not even close, actually. Olynyk, the unquestioned #1 contender for today. Miles ahead of Embiid at 2. Edwards at 3. RJ Barrett 4. Cole Anthony 5. Vassell, Green, Simons, Aldama, and Van Vliet round out the rest of my top 10. But just know, Kelly Olynyk is the guy that you're looking for today, everybody. Now, to DraftKings we go. On the DK side of this one, we've got optimal lineup. $291.49. So optimal by like 3/4 of a point. Cole Anthony, Tyler Hero, Devin Vassell, Olynyk, Joel Embiid, Jalen Green, Lauri Markkanen, and Usman Garuba as the paydown option. I like that lineup a lot too. I don't see anything there that I would really want to get away from. Garuba looking good as an option if he's going to be starting again. Let's go to the power rankings. Give me 1 second. Yeah, big time Kelly O Day. And you can see it in the power rankings now, too. It's pretty clear how this is shaking out. Kelly Olynyk at the top of the heap. Anthony Simons, a relatively close second. Tyrese Maxey looking good, third. Josh Hart, fourth. Devin Vassell, fifth. We kind of fall off. I don't want to say we fall off a cliff here, but there's a pretty big gap between Vassell and Jalen Green. So then 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Green, Aldama, Porter Jr., Adebayo, and Michael Porter Jr. So both Porters. But we're done here, guys. Process show in the books. Thank you to the 288 people that are in here, 170 likes. Another great show. We'll go here. We'll go there. We'll go there. Another one in the books. What do we have for the next couple days? What are these shows going to look like? Because we're here every day, Monday through Friday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. Today we've got an 8-gamer. Tomorrow we've got a 4-gamer. Wednesday's 10. Thursday's 4. Friday we go to 11. Going to be a good week. I like that a lot. 4-gamer tomorrow. That's better than the 2 gamers we've been getting. But that's all I've got. It's time for me to go record the contenders videos. Then I've got the strategy show with Adam Scher at 10 p.m. Sorry, at 10 a.m. I am not on Deeper Dive or Live Before Lock tonight, so keep your eyes peeled to my Twitter for my updated top 10s. Thank you guys for being here. Honestly, this has been a great one. So enjoy. We'll be able to get through it a little bit quicker tomorrow than we did today, but I love these nice long hour and 20-minute shows. It's a fun time. Thanks for being here, guys. This was The Process.